What's up, YouTube? It smells like Vin here, and I'm gonna be bringing you guys another album review as per usual. But before I start, I want to say that thank you to all who let me know that the music just wasn't working. In the review that I just did, Sleep's Holy Mountains review again. The music was way too loud, and I always wanted to put music in my reviews, but I just kind of can't. It only worked for me one time, and that's, excuse me, that's when I did Acts of the Unspeakable by Autopsy. For some odd reason, the music in the background just was perfectly leveled with what I was, saying, and it wasn't, too loud or too low, and I haven't been able to get it to that level again. So, just letting you guys know, the review that I upload, that's the Dope Smoker review by Sleep, that is going to have music on it because I did it yesterday before I realized the music just isn't working. So, don't think that I totally just ignored you guys or just said, fuck it, and just uploaded it anyway. It's a good review and you can hear my voice, so I'm just going to upload it, but then I'm done with the music. So, I wasted enough time. Let's get into the album. And the album I want to talk about today is an album I've been really into lately. It's a phenomenal album. And it was released in 1996, I believe. And it is In Search Of by Fu Manchu. And Fu Manchu are a stoner rock, garage rock kind of band. They are kind of a hard band to put on the label, and you guys probably already know I don't do labels. I don't really care. So I'm not going to try and sit here and decide what genre they are. But they are a great band that specialize in heavy, fuzzed out riffs, really, really psychedelic guitar solos. Maybe not really, really psychedelic guitar solos, but pretty trippy guitar solos, hard-hitting drums, and a laid-back kind of vocal style that makes the music sound less like, I don't know, something you'd listen to when you're angry, and rather something you'd listen to when it's a sunny day out and you're like driving a convertible or something really fast. They're from California, by the way, so, they talk about things like space, girls, cars, things like that, which just bring an element of fun to their music, which a lot of other bands in their style don't really have. So, yeah, In Search Of. In my opinion, In Search Of is probably the best album to get into Fu Manchu with. It was my first Fu Manchu album, because it has everything that they do really well. Like I said, heavy guitar riffs, fuzz beyond belief. These guitars are so fuzzed that, like when you're watching, something on YouTube of like a stoner metal band, and they're like, man, so much fuzz, the fuzz is ridiculous, and they kind of overhype it, and then when you actually watch the video, yeah, the guitars are really distorted, but people overreacted and they're not as fuzzy as they said they were. Well, the second I heard the song, I believe it was Strato Streak, which is the 7th song off the album, I was just like, fuck. The intro riff to that song really exhibits how deep the guitar tone is, and it kind of, every riff in this album draws you in to whatever song that belongs to the riff, and the guitar tone is just one of the things that makes the album so great. There's always like some thick noise in the background, no matter what's happening in the album. And the thing I really like about the guitar tone is that it always can alternate. It doesn't stay just this one kind of low tone. It could always range and go up to the really squealing, wailing high leads that the guitarists also play. So there's a good contrast to the really, really thick, heavy riffs and to the really, really scorching, wailing, high-pitched leads. And the vocals Oh, another cool thing about this band, like I said, this band is more of a laid-back kind of band that I listen to when I'm in, I don't know, when I'm coming home from school or something like that, or, like lunch in school or something, because it has a laid-back kind of vibe to it, and it's the type of music where you just sit there and kind of just be like, you know what I mean, as you're listening to it. It's not something that is visceral at all. In fact, it's more of a kind of, basically, like I said, just a laid-back vibe, basically. Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. The drumming is good. It's not, like, amazing, like, it'll totally, like, blow you away, but it's definitely really, really good. Always, keeps the timing, obviously, it has to. I like the way the drums sound. They fit the mid-paced to slow tempo that the album has. That's another thing. The groove on this album is fantastic. Take a song like Cyclone Launch. That groove gets stuck in my head, and I have to listen to it at least 2 times after I've listened to it once. And it's totally an awesome, awesome groove. So many other good songs have that. Asphalt Rising, Strato Shriek, like I said, the album's Closer, Sharpshooter, Regal Beagle, so many great grooves that emphasize the low end and the bass heavy production. Next thing. Before I go to production, the album isn't always slow, though. It can speed up in songs like Redline, the 5th track off this album. It does speed up quite a bit, but it's not ever really that fast. But the production is great. I don't know if this is their 3rd album. I'm pretty sure it's their 3rd album, but I could be wrong. So don't take that as, like, fact. But, the production's very good, like I said, about 1,000,000 times. The guitar tone is perfect for this type of music, and the way that is produced, it's never too upfront where it drowns out everything. But it's also not too low where it doesn't have the power that you would expect from it. My only real complaint about the production is, sorry, I'm kind of spacing out, is, the drums. The drums, like I said, they sound good, but they're a little too back in the mix. There's certain parts where all you really hear is the hi-hat just kind of cutting through. It doesn't happen often, but in certain songs you're sitting there like, what happened? Like, what happened to the drums? But it's not a huge issue. And they're pretty, everything's well mixed. Another thing I like about the production is the vocals. The vocals oftentimes get like kind of like a cool spacey effect put on them to emphasize just the vibes and textures and atmosphere that the album is going for. In songs like Neptune's Convoy, which is, by the name, you could probably tell it's a great thing that they put a vocal effect on it because it gives it that spacey kind of feel. And that's really the only track that alternates between laid back and then really heavy. There's another song on the album which is a little, actually it's all laid back and it turns down the fuzz, but this is the only song that does both. The verses are very kind of trippy and dreamy and laid back, and then the chorus comes and just punches you in the face. And then a song like Cyclone Launch, during the verses, he'll say something and then it'll echo. Like, he'll say something, like right after he says something, it echoes again. And it gives it just a cool kind of element to that song and the music in general. So, yeah, Fu Manchu. I love this band. I think they're a great band, and this album in particular is probably the highlight so far that I've listened to of their discography. Big riffs, whole lot of fuzz, great drums, great bass, really cool singing, interesting lyrics. It's basically the whole package. If you want a laid back, kind of easy, simple, formulated kind of stoner rock or garage rock type of album. And if you're from California, it's probably up your alley. I'm not. But yeah, I'm gonna give Fu Manchu's In Search of a... Wow, I realized I hadn't even been rating a lot of my reviews lately, a lot of the albums I've been reviewing, but I will this time. I'm gonna give it a 9.3. Good shit. Now I'll bump it up to a 9.5. What the fuck? Really good album. Definitely something that anyone who's into this type of music should check out. And this video has already gone on for too long, so thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time.